Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Every February, the best of the best in asphalt short track racing in the world invade the shark bite capital of the world, New Smyrna Beach, Florida, for a week of door-banging, fender-smashing, side-by-side short track action. Well, tonight, the best sim racers in super late model racing conclude the virtual version of this yearly event. Somebody's looking to make the leap and snatch the win from the jaws of defeat. Who will prevail? You'll find out next. It's the Fast Track Sims World Series presented by Pro Sim Racing Products, all part of the Late Model Esports series, and it's right here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the weekend. It's Friday night. I'm Jason Galvin. Great to have you with us here tonight, and joining me in the booth is Dawson Brock. Behind the scenes, world famous, the man himself, Joe Peak, turning the knobs tonight. Dougie Beard provides these beautiful cameras you'll see around this flying half a mile. Dawson, 5 nights of super late model racing action. It all comes down to this: 100 laps around a very tricky half mile here at New Smyrna.
Thanks, Jason. New Smyrna, home to the second most prestigious super late model race, the Florida Governor's Cup. It's a very tricky high bank half mile that can be hard to handle. Its tight turns combined with longer straightaways make for exciting racing. Drivers will have to focus on getting out of the corners to set up passes tonight. Another thing you got to watch out for is that outside wall that seems to almost jump out and grab you. To get a feel for what it's like to drive around this place, let's get in the passenger seat and take a ride around New Smyrna.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik, taking you for a spin around the new Smyrna Speedway in the GSRC Super Late Model. So without further ado, here we go. Off of turn 4, bring it right up here to the wall. Watch where the wall jumps out going into turn 1 right there, hard onto the binders. Let it float through the middle, pick up the gas a little bit, and then full throttle on exit. Watch the wheel spin off of the corner. Down into turn 3 once again, back onto the binders, roll through the middle, back off of the gas. New Smyrna is a short little half-mile speedway, but it drives very, very unique, much like a Dover International Speedway, just because you come up out of the banking, out of the corners, and then back onto the straightaways. Back down into turn 3 once again, float through the middle, grab the gas off of turn 4, and here we go across the line. And that's going to complete your track guide here around New Smyrna. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
We get 100 laps on this half mile here at New Smyrna tonight. And boy, what a race this is going to be. Now, this series is unique because so many of the short track series, it feels like on iRacing these days, lean a little too heavily for my tasting, at least on the fixed setup, but not here, not tonight. Open setups and no tires. 100 laps, one set of tires in the super late model. That means the driver who set his or her car up for longevity, likely the one who's going to come out on top. Of course, you also have to survive. Survival always a key on these short tracks. The leader gets lane choice on any restart, and here's something that's a little bit unique here, okay? And bear with me on this one. We're going to run 75 laps, and every lap around the track counts. But on the 76th lap, we stop counting cautions, which means we're going to have to hand score the last 25 laps. Race control will handle that. We'll do our best to convey that to you if we do indeed get a yellow or 2 or 3 or 17. We hope we don't, but you never know because it's short track racing and there's money on the line here at New Smyrna. So the last 25 laps will be green flag laps only. There's a $100 purse on the line for the week, not just tonight, but for the week. $50 goes to the champion. 25 goes to second. I believe it's 15 that goes third. And right now the title fight is 2 points between Ryan Doucette and Chris Canfield. And there are some heavy hitters in the 14 or 15 cars that are here tonight, including Cole Cabre, who's of course a former NASCAR Drive for Diversity driver who's in this field as well. Colin Allman, who's always certainly a contender anytime he gets into super late models. And Jake Watson, so lots of drivers in this field who are capable of competing. Dawson, what are you keeping your eye on for in this race?
Well, I think, as you mentioned earlier, the tires, I think that's going to be the number one thing. You know, we're looking at this timesheet right now, and the two guys you talked about, Ryan and Chris, Ryan's sitting about a little bit below half the field on practice timesheets right now. And that's not going to be that big of an issue if you can't get that, if you can't get up there. Maybe he starts in the back, maybe qualifies in the back. And that's not even going to be a problem as long as you stay out of your wrecks. Maybe you're back there, you can save your tires. All of a sudden, you get a restart after that 75 lap mark, and you're able to make some moves. I think saving tires is going to. I can't wait to see how it gets played out. That guy who sits out in the front, I've seen it in real life with these super late model races. The guy sits out front for the entire race, and all of a sudden, at the end, you get a restart. I mean, it's going to be a lot of excitement. Who knows what's going to happen?
You know, the thing here is always interesting is the guy who leads these races is setting the pace. Well, if you're setting the pace, and I've had experience with this in real life racing myself, if you're the driver setting the pace, it's a lot harder to know, you know, am I going too hard? Am I not going hard enough? Am I saving enough? How are the cars behind me? A lot of times, I kind of like to be that if you're not being challenged. That second place car really in the driver's seat because you can kind of control things, right? If you're good enough, you can get up there and maybe push the issue with the leader, make him use his stuff up a little bit, kind of cruise a little bit more, back up your corner, and just be able to ride. As where the leader's just never really sure. Even when you think you're slowing down and saving your stuff, you're never really sure if you're doing enough. And that's tricky. I think that's a good point you brought up because it's so overlooked in short track racing. Is that the leader, it can oftentimes kind of use his stuff up unintentionally as we start qualifying.
Yeah, I think great points there. And, you know, another part just to add to that tire game is, you know, if you're halfway through this race, maybe you don't fight with somebody side by side for a good 5-10 laps. Maybe you just give them that position so you can save those tires. I think the racing through that first half is probably going to be a little bit less. Not expecting too much side by side guys saving their stuff. But boy, once the last 25 laps hit, we're going to see a lot of action.
This is qualifying 2 laps is all you get. You have 5 minutes to complete it. And so far, Adam Jocelyn is at the top of the board. Bumped now by Cameron Ruggles, 17-14. Ryan Matthews blows everybody away, 16.96 to go to the top of the board. Good look at Cameron Ruggles there out of the Virginias. Beautiful purple and black entry. There's the 51 of Matthews currently on top of the board. Adam Jocelyn's complete. So far, it looks like lap 1 is the hot lap. Chris Canfield went 17.015, pops up to second. Blake Neer to third at 17.057.
Ryan Doucette just set a time, and he's going to be 7th right now as it stands on 8 cars.
Looks like Cole Cabre still hasn't gone out for his lap. Colin Slife as well. Grayson Cullither still waiting to go out. Colin Allman on the track right now. 67 car of Allman, always good. Sim Marketing Solutions, 67 car. So look at Cole Cabre. Cabre out of Florida, certainly has a lot of experience here. Cabre jumps up to 8th. Allman comes across in 2nd at a 16.99 with a 4. The second car into the 9s, into the 16-second range as well. Here's Riley Steinman.
Steinem, one of 2 cars to hit a 16 in the practice. Let's see if he can put another one down in quali.
Brake rotors glowing on these cars as they will all night. Oh, he botched turn 3.
Oh, and I think he's going to be okay because as iRacing, he hasn't put down a lap, so he still has 2 laps that he can use.
It gets reset, I think you're right. And he has done that. He's reset, so back out there.
Must not have liked the run he got out of 4. He decided to just restart it.
Off of turn 4. The Midwest driver comes across. Top of the board, 1690. With a 2, Riley Stengham. Boy, did he ever, and I mean ever, pull a rabbit out of the hat there. What a recovery. Stephen Chun still out there. We still haven't seen a lap from Zeke Torgensen, Evan Hallstrom, Colin Slife, or Brad Carpenter either. Chun, boy, that car will be easy to pick out all night, huh?
I like the paint scheme, just that older local track look. The big name right across the banner on the top. He's not able to go faster. He'll have to settle for the 17.359.
Might be everybody that's come across now. It's not going to matter. 8 seconds left on the timer, so that's everybody now. Well, Colin Allman's just out there running laps, practicing for the race or something. And that's it. Qualifying comes to an end. Get you to the starting grid here for the final night of the Fast Track Sims World Series presented by Pro Sim Racing Products. Riley Stengham starts on the pole, 16.903. Ryan Matthews on the outside of row 1. Colin Allman, the final car, that got into the 16s. And Chris Canfield outside of row 2. Row 3 is Blake Neer and Grayson Cullither. Cameron Ruggles, Jake Watson make up row 4. And Adam Jocelyn, Cole Cabaret in row 5.
Now we look at Ryan Dusek to start at row 6. Jake Klemovich starting out at the side of that top 10. Stephen Chun, 13th. Zeke Torgensen, 14th, not going to set a lap. Brad Carpenter, Colin Slife, and Evan Hallstrom to round out the field.
So we wait for everybody to grid here. There are 17 cars technically in the session. We'll see how many of them grid and roll onto the track. You know, I'm a terrible play-by-play man. I've realized I completely neglected the fact that we have a third member of our broadcast crew tonight. Adam Lindgren down on pit road. I hope you brought your earplugs because this place gets loud. Adam, what do you keep an eye on as we get ready to roll?
Well, right now I'm keeping my eye on how this pack is going to settle out once they start racing. They've had a lot of cautions early on during the races during the rest of the week, and so it's been a pretty chaotic early going for these cars. So the point sitters that are farther back in the pack, such as Ryan Doucette and Colin Allman, Ryan Matthews as well, like they're going to have a really hard time picking their way through the field to make their way up to get some good points. And so with no pit stops in order and lots of cautions on order, and with only 14 incidents, this is going to be a really difficult fight for them to be able to stay clean and stay good and be able to make their way up to the front.
So now, Adam, if you're up there, you saying you want to be up in the front, you want to stay up there, try not to drop back?
Definitely. I want to get to the front as quick as possible and just ride it out for those first 75 laps that all count, and then make my push forward in those last 25 laps where it's just green flag laps that count. I want to be clean and safe all the way up to that point and then make the push forward.
All right, Adam, have fun down there on pit road tonight. So far, Chris Canfield, the points leader, Colin Allman, Cole Cabre, and Daniel Silvestri have picked up wins. Who's going to win Night 5, the final night of the World Series here at New Smyrna? Who's going to take home the championship? Riley Stenjum, Ryan Matthews will bring him off of turn 4. Green flag is out. We're racing for 100 laps here in Florida. And right away, Riley Stenjum clears Ryan Matthews. The cars scream down the back straightaway here at New Smyrna. Single file back to about 7th or 8th. Adam Jocelyn had a little bit of an issue there in turn 3 and 4 and fell way back. And Evan Hallstrom's on pit road, didn't make the grid, it looks like.
Single file field all the way through. It looks like they're gonna. Oh, we got a pass. Ryan Doucette gonna make a move up. He'll bump him up to 8th spot.
Yeah, Colin Allman goes to 2nd there. Ryan Matthews got into turn 3 awfully hot, slid up the track, and now Chris Canfield is there as well. Canfield and Allman, the teammates, so you know those cars are going to be set up to book.
Three-car train going here at the front. So I wonder, maybe Riley's feeling a little bit of heat from behind. Ooh, a little bit of the wall, it looked like there from Colin Allman.
Adam Lindgren down on pit road with an update on Evan Hallstrom. Adam.
Yeah, Evan Hallstrom ended up not gridding and starting from the pits, so he's starting way back. He's already a lap down, so he's got a long way to go to make his way back up front.
Oh, we got a wreck on the front stretch. Jake Watson sideways.
And everybody bouncing off of each other here, trying to miss it. Let's take another look at this one. It's Watson. Boy, that starts coming off of turn 4. So it's a battle for the 5th position. Jake Watson going to get an end of the longest line penalty, as will Blake Neers. They're both involved here. As you see, they come up off of turn 4. Watson got Neer loose. Neer slapped the wall hard, and then, boy, I don't know if Neer was still gathering it up or if he just wanted to make sure that Watson didn't get out of that one unscathed, but they both end up going for a ride. Take an onboard look here with Blake Neer. Down the back straightaway. Contact starts right as they get back to the throttle here off of 4.
Just clips him. Tough way to start out the race with a bunch of damage. And you got to go to the back of this pack.
Taking a look at Jake Watson's car. I'm trying to circle around here, and as I scroll through my cameras, he does have some frontal damage and a little bit of damage on the side and as well. Boy, and Watson and Neer almost just ran into each other pacing as well, so no love lost there, it looks like, early on. Blake Neer's car is very beat up. It'll be difficult for him to be able to drive back through the field here. Blake Neer onto pit road now.
Yeah, it looks like we got Blake Neer, we got Brad Carpenter, and Grayson Colither all in the pits right now. They're the only 3 that took it, and we got a couple of guys who took tires, so that's going to be a big no-no. They're in big trouble. That's Brad Carpenter who took tires. Unfortunately, that might be the end of his night.
Yeah, the rules here state no tires or you're disqualified. And Brad Carpenter, sure enough, came in and the car went up on jack stand, so we'll have to see what the ruling here is. Zeke Torgensen, the administrator for this series. It's like the lights are still on the Mustang pace car here.
You know, we talked about our 2 guys going after it for the points. We got Ryan Doucette. He's going to be starting 5th up on that inside row, so he's already made it up 6 spots from 11th. So a good start to the race for Ryan.
Blake Neer's pit crew, to be commended, did a great job getting that car fixed up. Grayson Colither is off the pace on the back straightaway. interesting to see what's happening there. No report on Carpenter yet.
Yeah, and I just got an update. It looks like the penalty for taking tires is an end of race disqualification, so he can stay out, but it's not going to count.
Interesting. Well, hopefully he knows that and doesn't stick his nose into a battle where it doesn't belong there, as the lights are off and the pace car will hang a left. Thanks for that update, Adam. Riley Stenjum chooses the inside line. Colin Allman up top, green flag back out. Allman started to jump there, had to pedal it, so Stenjum would get to the line first. Restarts are on the leader here. Stenjum sends Allman up the tractor, 3 wide. Matthews, Allman, Canfield sticking his nose in there as Doucette as they head into turn 3. Early action here on lap 13 at New Smyrna, and it's Ryan Matthews back to second, but some contact it looked like, and Allman back to the outside as well. What a battle this is here early on, and Colin Allman will prevail, and here comes Cole Cabre to the outside. Cabre has worked his way up now on the outside of Ryan Matthews. They come off a turn 4, wheel to wheel.
Boy, and while all of that was happening, oh, now Cabre gonna slide up wide, losing 2 positions, 3 positions, make it, getting a little loose on that entry. What a hectic restart just to start this thing right back up. Ryan Doucette was getting loose through that entire thing. Now we got 3 wide farther back. Adam Jocelyn up high, and he's getting loose.
Blake Neer, Jake Watson trying to roll back through the field. Adam Jocelyn freight trained right now as Brad Carpenter will take a look underneath in that orange car. And here comes trouble. Big wreck off of turn 4. We got 4 cars involved. And it started with
like
the
7-Eleven
7-Eleven car. Let's take another look at this one here. Jake Klemenovich on the outside, Evan Hallstrom on the inside trying to make up time, and they just get together. That is short track racing right here. As you see the contact, looked like Klemenovich was trying to maybe turn down and get the run off, and there wasn't any room. Boy, a great job there. Jake Watson and Blake Neer sneak through that, but then it was all hands on deck. Well, actually, take that back. Neer actually lost it. He bounced off the inside wall very hard. So we got 5 cars involved as you're on board now with Steven Chun. Chun manages to sneak through. Take a look at that. And you see Blake Neer go for a ride there. Steve Chun. Attention, Steve Chun. Change of diapers is on aisle 6.
And some people probably not happy with that whole incident. Evan Hallstrom 3 laps down and getting involved in a racing incident. I know it doesn't sit well. Normally you just want guys to ride it out a little bit, but so I have a couple angry drivers after the race.
Yeah, and race control actually questioned the 47 of Hallstrom as to why he got involved with that there. Blake Neer, Adam Jocelyn, Grayson Cullither, Klemenovich, Brad Carpenter all pick up heavy damage in that one. Carpenter actually might be the best off. He got turned around by Cullither and was able to somehow keep it off the wall, which is literally a miracle here. And everybody else not so fortunate. Adam Jocelyn climbed the wall. Cullither, big damage. Klemenovich obviously took a big impact there as well.
So how about the 31 car of Colin Slythe? You know, we talked about moving up the field. He started way in the back, started gridded 16th, and he's able to get himself right now sitting in the top 5. And we're just barely into this race, just 20 laps in, so good start for him.
Colin Slythe, one of 3 drivers who didn't qualify here in this one, Dawson. It was Slythe, Brad Carpenter, who was just involved in that wreck, and Evan Hallstrom, who started the wreck. We're going to be honest with ourselves, which, why not? So here we are, lap 21 under caution. Ford Mustang pace car right now giving Riley Stenjum a run for most laps led in this one. Looks like the lights are going to click off here, though, and Stenjum chooses the inside line once again. So Colin Allman will be stuck up top, and we'll have his teammate Chris Canfield behind him. Ryan Matthews is in 3rd in that 51 car. Row 3 is Colin Slythe and Ryan Doucette, and then it'll be Cole Cabre and Cameron Ruggles in row 4. struggles at this point as the end of the clean cars, and he's in 8th place. Mustang pace car pulls off. Riley Stencham on the inside line goes right away and gets a huge jump and pulls away from Colin Allman as they head off into turn 1. Allman a good restart as well, though. Will drive it in on the back of Stencham, and a contact for the lead off of turn 2. Allman to the inside. Colin Allman trying to make a power move here on lap 23. Allman off of turn 4. Colin Allman, new leader, lap 24. What a move that was. Little bumper, runs up the track now, clears Stencham. Here comes Ryan Matthews to the inside. Don't sleep on Canfield, he's there as well, and so is Ryan Doucette. Contact now between Matthews and Stencham. Up off turn 4, Canfield involved in this as well. They're beating and banging, and Colin Allman is checking out. Contact again. Stencham gets doored by Matthews. Up the track, 3 wide down the back straightaway. Look at this battle. Canfield, Doucette, Stencham going backwards. He's back to 5th as they come off turn 4.
That's 77.
What a battle.
Wow, yeah, the 77 car just dropping like a rock right now. Can't catch a break. Hopefully he can get stuff gathered up. Maybe get it back going. But how about Chris Canfield going 3 wide through the middle with Doucette and Riley. Just unbelievable job.
Colin Slife, door to door. Jake Watson, who's moving up. Watson now up to the 6th spot. Stencham looking to get back inside of Doucette. Battle for 4th there. Doucette takes a look at Chris Canfield. You see everybody starting to move their lines around. Canfield way up the track in turns 1 and 2.
As all of this has happened, Colin Allman has stepped out to a pretty sizable lead. It's up over a second now, and he's got to be loving this side. Oh, we got caution.
2 cars in the wall. Turns 1 and 2. It's Adam Jocelyn, Brad Carpenter, both stuck in the wall. See if we can get another look at this one. Brad Carpenter and Adam Jocelyn just got together.
Looks like he saw a gap and then it shut at the last minute.
It's taking on board Adam Jocelyn's car here as they come up off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. And you see it there. Jocelyn just tried to get in under Brad Carpenter, and I think he just didn't get on the brakes hard enough. And then something that we didn't really see, Jake Klemovich just plowed Adam Jocelyn. Holy cow. That's going to cause some serious damage to the front of Klemovich's car. Not that he didn't already have some there. And Adam Jocelyn's going to need a rear clip to go with the front clip he already needed, I think. Pit road.
And guys, it looks like we got a bunch of cars in. We got Blake Neer, Adam Jocelyn, Klemovich, Carpenter. They're all in, and it looks like most of these guys are in for getting some damage repaired, except for Carpenter, who I think was in for a penalty. So a lot of damage on these cars early on in this race.
Brad Carpenter, remember, took tires earlier. So as Adam Lindgren, our pit reporter, was noting, he will be disqualified essentially at the end of this event anyways, but still out there running laps.
I tell you what, if we have another restart like that, or are these guys going to maybe single file out really early in this race to be seeing this much racing? They've done a great job so far, but Riley Stencham falling back as much as he did. Hopefully, he's got to work on. He's going to be starting on that inside line in the 3rd row. Hopefully, going to make up a couple of positions and get back up there.
Currently working lap 33 here. Remember, caution laps do count until we get to lap 100. Pardon me, lap 75. We're only racing to 100, so I'd be really wrong on that. Lap 75, then we will start hand counting. No caution laps after 75. And the winner of this race gets 3 bonus points, and from there on back, it's a 1-point separation all the way through. Lights are out on the Mustang pace car. Colin Allman says wants to start outside.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. Haven't seen that yet tonight.
Allman restarted on the outside last time, not by choice. He was in second place. His first restart, Colin Allman's been the leader for. Pace car pulls off. Allman on the loud pedal. Green flag back out. Lap 35 as they cross the stripe, and Colin Allman leads Ryan Matthews into turn one. Up top, Chris Canfield, Allman's teammate, rolling, and he will clear Ryan Doucette down the back straightaway. And here comes Jake Watson in the 88 car. Watson went around early on. I believe he was the first caution. And this time he's going to be outside of Doucette. That is a battle for the fourth position. Props to the 88 car. Caution on the speedway. Trouble in turns 1 and 2. It's Brad Carpenter around once again.
And this time, no help, it looks like. Oh, maybe a little bit. I'll have to check the replay here real quick.
Oh, Evan Hallstrom just pretty much ran over Brad Carpenter, and then immediately disconnected from the server, told by race control he was going to be parked anyways. Turns out that when you're 3 laps down and you cause 2 cautions in 37 laps, it's frowned upon. Pacing here, lap 38 now at New Smyrna, and we'll take a break here on the Global Sim Racing Channel and be back. Welcome back, lap 41 of the World Series finale here at New Smyrna for the Late Model Esports Series. I'm Jason Galvin, Dawson Brock alongside me in the booth, Adam Lindgren down on pit road. Lights are out on the Mustang pace cars. We come to lap 42 and a restart. Colin Allman chooses the inside this time and jumps on Ryan Matthews. Maybe he did that because his teammate Chris Canfield was right there. Maybe a little team tactics going on as they head off into turn 1 and up off of turn 2. Battle for second now. Ryan Matthews to the outside, Chris Canfield down low. The outside's been the preferred line though, and it's Matthews who will power away off of 4. And as a result, here comes Doucette as well. Doucette to the outside of Canfield through turns 1 and 2. Watson and Stengham are there as well. Riley Stengham, the pole sitter, led the first, 30-something laps of this race before getting shuffled back, trying to find his way back through, and more caution on the racetrack again. Brad Carpenter, man, oh man, the green is just not working for you tonight, bud.
And actually, this is not going to be him. Oh, actually it was.
Wasn't his fault.
No, but we'll take a look here on the replay. Also involved the 83 machine of Adam Jocelyn. Just gonna get shoved up into the wall, and boy, rough night so far for that green car, as you said.
And interesting note here, the caution came out and Cole Cabaret, I think, said, I've had enough. He's not in the points. He did win one of these races earlier this week, but Cole Cabaret literally pulled over and exited his race car. So maybe he decided between the setup and the way the race was going, time to call it quits. Find something else to do. Cole had won a race earlier this week in this series. Again, Chris Canfield is the points leader over Ryan Doucette. And right now, as they run on the track, Doucette, one spot ahead of Canfield, would still give Canfield the title because it's a 2-point separation right now. Cameron Ruggles is third in points, but tonight has just not been that competitive. He is currently buried in the 9th position. And then Alex McCollum is fourth in points, and he's having an even worse night than Cameron Ruggles is because he's not here. Adam, down on pit road, what's up?
Yeah, it has not been a great night for Brad Carpenter. He's been down pit road about 5 times, and most of them have been post-accident, so he's got a lot of damage he's had to clean up. But if you think that's a lot, Jake Klemovich has had even more. 7 times down pit road, still cleaning up from that first caution. These two guys are not having the greatest of nights right now.
Yeah, and I keep reminding everybody, and poor Mr. Carpenter is probably going to be mad that I'm doing it, but he's going to get disqualified when the race is done as well. He took tires on the first pit stop, so no matter what, his night is still not done, getting worse.
Boy, fixing damage here at these short tracks on iRacing, you get stuck with having to watch for that pace car trying not to go a lap down, and you only get about 10-20 seconds down actually getting the damage fixed. So it's a bugger when you have 2-3 minutes of damage that you're trying to fix.
Looks like the lights are back out on the Mustang. Lap 48, so we are closing in. We'll be a lap away from halfway when the green comes back out. Allman says, want the outside this time, and Chris Canfield is stuck up top as well in 4th on the outside of Ryan Doucette. So I really do wonder, really do wonder if Allman is trying to help Canfield out with his lane selection here as the Mustang turns in. Green flag back in the air, and Allman jumps out. Canfield to the outside of Ryan Matthews, and Doucette was sleeping on that restart. Watson to the outside there. Look at Ryan Matthews. What a power move that was. The double logistics car just drove by Canfield in 1 and 2. The 51 slides into 2nd. Canfield thinking about the crossover. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. And finally, we're actually single file for a little bit on a restart here. That's kind of nice to see. I'm not complaining about the action, but I'll take a break for a few laps here because it's been a wild one the last couple restarts. Riley Stenjum, the pole sitter, on the outside right now, trying to get around Ryan Doucette. That's the battle for 5th place, and it is Stenjum who will lead across the line, and in turns 1 and 2 will actually clear Doucette now. So move Riley Stenjum up into 5th. And right now, Chris Canfield with a comfortable points lead if you're scoring at home as well. Past halfway now as we come around to start lap 52.
Yeah, Ryan Doucette really needed a good restart there, just didn't get it. It was right there, car went off, and your leader, Colin Allman, just wanted to go. Ryan Matthews, as you mentioned, did a great job getting that restart and was able to break out the teammate shenaniganry, at least that we think is going on between the 03 and the 67. So Chris Canfield, though, he can't be complaining. Still your points leader, able to get in front of Ryan Doucette. Look through the field, not much action, maybe a little bit. Cameron Ruggles trying to make a move on Steven
contact
Chun.
Behind him there. Chris Canfield right behind him. Jake Watson, that was a wild moment. We should have had a big wreck, and everybody did a great job of missing it there. Jake Watson and Riley Stenjum got together in turns 3 and 4. Stenjum just got in the back of Watson and turned him. Matthews, or Doucette I should say, drove into it, and everybody saved it. Man, what a moment that was.
Yeah, race control, giving everybody props, saying a good job on the checkup and the save. So good job for the entire field. Now we're back to single file.
Watson actually ended up benefiting from that. He picked up a couple of car links over Stenjum as everybody checked up. The real winners there, the top 3, they're now a whole straightaway ahead of 4th place. By the way, Grayson Cullither's evening is over. He was having some connection issues and race control. Went ahead and parked him.
Coming to lap 57 here. We're nearing in on that lap 75 mark where we'll stop counting yellow flag laps. As you mentioned, a big gap. That top three now has kind of run away. And boy, as this is looking, we say cautions breed cautions. Well, the opposite's true for green flag laps. The more we go here, the less chances we're going to have of getting a caution.
Riley Stenjum now has closed back in on Jake Watson again. Battle for 4th and 5th. Get Watson in the 88 car. Stenjum, who you're on board with right now in the 77, was the pole sitter and led a lot early on before Colin Allman laid the bumper down, and Stenjum dropped like he had parachutes on a top fuel car.
You mentioned this earlier, how well that top side was doing. Expecting maybe Riley to look to that outside, but no, he's going to try and make a move on the inside. A little bit of a gap, sees the hole, but just getting a great run off the corner of that 88 machine.
Stenjum uses the bumper again on Watson, trying to get him a little upset, and maybe Ryan Doucette is right there still, looking to pounce. I think this is the better play for Stenjum. That time he went through 1 and 2 and tried to follow Watson around. Maybe get a run and set up a move in 3 and 4. There's no doubt that Jake Watson right now is holding these two cars up.
Gets to the inside. You mentioned it, you called it, get a good run off of it, and he did. Just not quite able to get past that rear quarter panel. Meanwhile, the rest of the field still single file, absolutely nothing going on.
Another little bump from Stenjum.
Drives it in deep. Riley Stenjum getting a great move, but boy, that top side just able to carry the momentum down these straightaways. It's going to be a tough pass here. Maybe gets next side by side. Jake Watson getting a great run off the corner. A little bit of contact that time. Ryan Doucette patiently waiting.
Stenjum moves up the track a little. Watson, they beat, they bang, they're rubbing tires. Lap 65 in the books, we're on 66. Stenjum bobbles, and Watson did a good job giving him room there. That could have been ugly. Stenjum up the track again. Ooh. Tries to crowd Watson. Boy, the exit of turn 4 will really stick out at you too if you don't get down the track. And look at Stenjum, just drives Watson up the track, and Watson said, I don't like that very much. I'm still here, you know. Ooh. Oh, big contact into turn 3. Look at Stenjum hang on to it. Holy cow.
And that 88 machine gave him plenty of room, and now big bump. Able to gather it up. Great job.
This is going to get ugly before it gets good.
Let's check a quick replay of that big bump and run here. On board to Jake Watson. Obviously, oh, look at that. Big bump move.
Yeah, you know, Dawson, the track I race at, you know, we have a distinction. You can bump, or you can move. That was a move by Jake.
Yeah, that was, I mean, there was no mistakes. There was no mistaken intentions. I mean, he went into that looking to move him up the track. And, you know, they had raced side by side. Ooh, big, getting loose. Jake Watson, hold on to that machine. Here we go. We might have a little bit of more action. This is not over.
Yeah, don't think the 77 doesn't remember what happened 5 laps ago. Oh,
there it is.
Speaking of big move there, Watson does a great job of hanging on, and Ryan Doucette is just sitting there going, guys, please let me go. Just let me by. Contact! Stenjum doors him.
Wow, and he didn't try. He went up the track, tried to get a little bit of a bump, and oh boy,
Oh, Watson into the wall trying to get back to him. That's going to cost him. I think Riley Stenjum's going to pull away now as Ryan Doucette's all over the back of Jake Watson.
Lap away from lap 75, so now from here on out, we're only counting the green flag laps.
Great battle this has been. Meanwhile, let's check in now on the 7th place car. This is Colin Slife, and Blake Neer turns him! Caution on lap 75. Boy, that was fortuitous timing on our behalf. Colin Slife on the outside and Blake Neer on the inside, and they get into each other. And take another look at the replay here. I might owe Blake Neer a bit of an apology. Yeah, I think I do. So look at that. I said Slife and Neer, and I said Neer turned him in the heat of the moment, but it definitely appears that Colin Slife turns down the track. I mean, Blake Neer is on the yellow line. Not sure what else you could do there. Unfortunately, the way this series goes, everybody's going to get sent to the back, but Colin Slife goes around. 24 laps to go in this one, so we're on lap 76. Caution flags do not count anymore, so we hand score this one from here on out. You know who did not want to see that? Everybody in the top 3.
Yeah. And boy, now you got to start. We'll have Riley Stenjum. He's going to be on the high side of row 2, Jake Watson low side of row 3, so at least they're not starting side by side, but now you're just giving both of them a chance to gather it back up,
Good
pull off
point,
the tires
yeah.
maybe.
You know who else didn't want to see that? Riley Stenjum, because now Jake Watson is going to be buried up his rear as they head him into turn 1.
Boy, I mean, just looking back at that, you know, I believe, you know, Riley was the one passing there at the start. It looked like he was giving plenty of room, you know, tried to do it the clean way. And once Watson got behind him, just thought, well, we're going to just move him. He didn't even try to keep it clean or anything. So definitely bad blood between the two. I think still now we got 24 to go, 24 green laps, so there's still plenty of time for these two to put on a couple more moves.
Check in with Adam on pit road.
Yeah, it looked like the damage to Blake Neer was a little bit more serious than we thought. He's been in the pits for a while now, and either he's deciding to step out or he was anticipating that EOL penalty and is deciding to take a bullet and just get all the damage repaired right now. So he's been down here for well over 2 minutes, so this might be the end of Blake Neer's race.
Blake Neer 2 laps down as it was just before all of this, so probably not looking to get his laps back anymore and just get that car fixed.
Lights are out, and I'm telling you, the teammate game continues because Colin Allman chooses the inside with Chris Canfield also ending up on the inside line. So 24 circuits left, 12 miles here in New Smyrna. Allman on the inside, Matthews on the outside, then it's Canfield and Stenjum, Jake Watson, Ryan Doucette, Ruggles, and Jocelyn. Super Late looks more like a modified now as they come up off of turn 4. Green flag, Colin Allman gets out to a good start. Ruggles did not, he checked up the field back there. They head into turn 1. It's Canfield and Stenjum, boy, and also Jake Watson, a bad restart, going to lose his spot to Doucette. Up to 5th, so second in points is there. And Stenjum looking inside of Canfield. This could really throw a wrench into the championship. Canfield around! Canfield into the wall! So is Doucette! Everybody's wrecked, and what does this do to the championship fight? Oh my!
Boy,
Chris Canfield got turned by Riley Stenjum, and everybody piled into it. And Ryan Doucette tried to miss it and got turned, and everybody's wrecked.
Lots of damage to the field here. Doucette's car actually looking, from most of the cars, his car is probably looking one of the better ones. Boy. No good.
Well, I was just thinking that as I looked around, too. Ryan Doucette looks like he might have been the winner of that there. Chris Canfield's front of that car is really beat. He took a big hit. You wonder not only about how that car is going to handle, but the power play. Look at the 40 of Ruggles. What a great view that was there. Joe Peak turning the knobs, did a great job of finding that shot there. That was on board with Brad Carpenter, and you saw Ruggles' car go airborne. Here's Ruggles on board. Boy, poor Cameron Ruggles. Here it is. On board with Ruggles. Down the back straightaway, and everything looks fine and dandy here. It's Doucette in front of him. Jocelyn, rather, in front of him. Doucette 2 in front. Here's where everything goes wrong, and here's where Cameron Ruggles' night basically ends. Whew. You should see that car rolling off a pit road right now. Let's see if we can get Joe to get a look at that car. The 40 of Ruggles.
Yeah, they were doing a lot of work.
Man.
They were doing a lot of work to Ruggles' engines, guys. I mean, like, this thing does not sound great coming off a pit road, and I can confirm Blake Neer is out.
See what Cameron Ruggles' car looks like. He thinks it doesn't sound good. Wait till he gets out and looks at it. It's definitely going to be ready to go for the weekly IMCA B modified race at his local dirt track this weekend, though. Ruggles back to pit road. He's got a lot of work to do on that race car. Stenjum, no shock here, got an end of the longest line penalty for causing that accident. By the time they're done fixing cars, the end of the longest line's not going to be much farther behind where he was running.
Boy, now with all these torn up cars, you know, whose damage is going to affect their speed, whose isn't. Boy, this is tough. All I know is that top three, Allman, Matthews, Slife, they're all clean, so they're good to go. But boy, I mean, looking back at it, Ryan Doucette, he needs to get back up there, try and catch Chris Canfield, both torn up cars. We'll see as they stack them up, going to go 2 by 2.
Trying to get a good idea of how many laps are left now from race control. See if we can get an answer on that one. 23 laps left, I'm told, as the lights are out. Colin Allman will start on the outside. Boy, keep an eye on Canfield, though, because that car, I'm very interested to see if it goes. The 03, the red car on the outside of row 2. Green flag is out. Allman jumps out. Boy, Canfield's car looks racy so far. Into turn 1. Well, I don't know what happened there. The 51 of Matthews just didn't go. Slife to the outside of him, and Chris Canfield has taken second spot. Very interesting turn of events here. Canfield's car looks just fine. I would have never guessed that. Trouble, 77's around. Stenjum cautions back out. Got a little help from the 17 of Carpenter. That was close racing, door to door, wheel to wheel. And Stenjum did a nice job of not hitting anything either, as we'll see here on the replay. Carpenter in that green 17, Stenjum, the black car on the outside of him, and just good old New Smyrna turns 3 and 4 there, Dawson.
Yeah, that's tough. And boy, we see that green car involved in another one. You know, I've been told you're not supposed to paint your race cars green. Why? Because it's the color of money. Apparently that's bad luck in the racing community, so we ride on board. Steve Chun, look, boy, they're just close racing there, and yeah, nothing you can do.
Blake Neer has retired his race car. We heard Adam say that car was being worked on extensively on pit road. Stenjum back there now. It was in 9th place for Riley Stenjum. Brad Carpenter's in 10th. I think Carpenter's the last car running in 10th place right now.
And what a turn of events. You know, Stenjum had a really fast car. Qualified on pole. He's done a great job, and just this last half of the race has just not been good for him. Just not what you want to see from that 77 machine. Plenty of speed, just no luck.
Still 21 laps left in this race, by the way. Or the way we're going, in eternity.
And guys, I can make an official report down here from the pit lane. Race control has told Brad Carpenter to park the car. He is done.
So Brad Carpenter, who was, as we mentioned, going to be DQ'd anyways at the end of the night. So Cameron Ruggles in 10th, the last car running, and you see Ruggles is back on pit road. I think Cameron Ruggles could spend the entire Daytona 500 on pit road and not get that car fixed. Kudos to him for trying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at least he hasn't given up yet. You know, he's looking at this and thinking, if we keep going at this pace, he might get a top 5.
You know, theoretically, Cameron Ruggles is not out of the championship hunt either. If something were to happen between Canfield and Doucette, entirely possible. We've seen them both in wrecks already. And Ruggles were able to come around as the lights go out on the pace car. Ruggles might pick up a black flag there. He was real late getting out of the pits. But if something were to happen to the first 2 cars in points, Canfield and Doucette, and Ruggles were to just finish, he'd probably sneak up and steal the championship. So that's probably why he's out there still trying to turn laps. As lights are out and Colin Allman finally cannot pick his lane based on where Chris Canfield's going to be behind him because, well, Chris Canfield's next to him. Teammates on the front row here as the lights are out and the Mustang pulls in. Colin Allman, green flag back out. Ooh. And boy, Chris Canfield got a jump. Canfield might have beat Allman back to the line there as they head into turns 1 and 2. Let's see how that one plays out as Slife goes up the track and here comes Matthews back on the inside.
Allman
Watson to the outside of Doucette as well.
Allman maybe rethinking if he should have been helping his teammate to get him alongside him because, boy, what a restart that was. We look 2 by 2 right behind him. Ryan Matthews maybe getting a little bit into Slife. He's going to move up to 3rd. Colin Slife back to 4th. Jake Watson 5th. And Ryan Doucette, they're going to single file out. He'll get back into the 6th spot.
Ryan Doucette's car just has not looked the same since that incident. And Riley Stenjum is underneath him now in the battle for the 6th spot.
Right now, as it looks, Chris Canfield in a great spot to finish up his championship run. Ryan Doucette stuck back in traffic, back in 6th. He's going to have to make some moves here late.
Colin Slife holding up Jake Watson right now. That's the battle that you're looking at. Ryan Doucette, Riley Stenjum there as well. It's from 4th on back to 7th.
Just tuning in and you're looking at the top left of your screen, you see a minute 42. No, this is not a timed race. We're doing a little bit different with the laps here, and the laps are not being counted, they're being handwritten. So we've got about 15 left in this race, and we are only counting the green flag laps, not the yellows.
Race control has been updating the drivers, 15 to go. In fact, that time by Torgensen doing a good job keeping everybody up to date on where we're at. Contact! Slife is gonna lose it! Oh, he hung on! Get out of here! Oh, we're still wrecking. I have no idea. We lost somebody. Who'd we lose?
We lost 2 cars.
Riley Stenjum, did he DQ? He manually disconnected. I have no idea what just happened. He blinked out on my screen after that contact.
Incident limit. I think there's a incident limit of 14, and I think you just got disqualified and the cars got kicked off the track. It's an iRacing done thing, and if you get more than 14 incident points, your race is done.
We lost Jake Watson too in that shuffle, I believe. So they might have both. They both incident pointed out on the same piece of contact. And the big winner there was Ryan Doucette, who picked up 3 spots by passing 1 car. That's how you do it, Ryan. Write a book on how to do that. A race car driver in America wants to know. Up front, Colin Allman just cruising right now. His teammate Canfield behind them, and then Ryan Matthews. Doucette now in 4th, Colin Slife in 5th, and Steve Chun. Boy, Steven Chun has a beat-up car, has not been inside the top 5 all night or anywhere close to it, and I don't think I've seen him pass one driver that wasn't being involved in a wreck. He's in 6th. Good for him. Look at that car. Oh.
Saying just behind him, still going at it, Cameron Ruggles. I mean, he's in 7th, but at least he's still out there picking up positions. We've talked about him, too, having a bunch of damage.
9 laps to go this time for Colin Allman.
Boy, how about this? You got two teammates up in front, and both of them are probably going to be happy with the result of this. One, Colin Allman, he's going to get the race win. He should be pretty happy. And then two, Chris Canfield, he'll be able to top off that championship points run as they stand right now. He is your champion.
Just to give you an idea, in order for that to change, somehow Canfield would have to fall back to the 5th spot while Doucette moved up to second. Even just swapping spots, 2nd to 4th wouldn't work because Canfield has won an event and Doucette has not.
And I think even if Ryan Matthews, for some reason, catches Canfield, I think he's just going to let him go, knowing that.
5 to go.
Looking at the track, cars really spaced out after that incident that we just had with the incident points. This is the closest racing we've got on track. Two Toyotas, the 03 and the 51.
Ryan Doucette, to his credit, is really hustling, trying to reel those guys in front of him. He's going to run out of time, I think. White flag for Colin Allman as he crosses the stripe. 1 lap left in this one. 67 car, the Florida driver at the Florida track, jumped out in front a third of the way through this one and never looked back. Colin Allman wins the finale here at New Smyrna. Up off of turn 4, here's Chris Canfield to win the championship. Ryan Matthews, Ryan Doucette, Colin Slife are your top 5, and Cameron Ruggles brought her home in 6th, or Stephen Chun rather in 6th, Cameron Ruggles in 7th. Holy cow, can you believe it? Cameron Ruggles is on the lead lap. There's a bet I would have lost. Wow. Amen to you, Cameron Ruggles. Talk about sticking it out. 7 cars finish this one here. Holy cow. Let's take a break as Colin Allman and Chris Canfield, the teammates, celebrate in unison. We'll be back and talk to them here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. The Late Model Esports Series and the Fast Track Sims World Series, presented by Pro Sim Racing Products, is now a wrap for 2019, and Colin Allman picks up the victory in the 5th and final race of the week here at New Smyrna Speedway in Florida, his home state. Let's take you through the lineup here. It's Allman winning the race. Chris Canfield, his teammate, comes home 2nd, locks up the championship. Ryan Matthews finishes 3rd. Ryan Doucette comes home 4th, finished 2nd in points. The official results here say Cameron Ruggles up to 5th, but I think that's because of the way that we were scoring things. Colin Slife should be 5th, Stephen Chun 6th, and Cameron Ruggles 7th. We apologize, that's just a tweak in the iRacing system that we can't deal with because we were hand scoring guys at the end there. So it'll be Slife, then Chun, then Ruggles in 7th, Jake Watson 8th, Riley Stenjum comes home 9th, and Jake Klemovich comes home 10th. Dawson?
Yeah, then we go to the 17 car of Brad Carpenter. Had some bad luck tonight. The 83 car of Adam Jocelyn, 14 car Blake Neer, Grayson Cullither, Cole Cabry, Evan Hallstrom, and your race director, Zeke Torgensen.
Yeah, Zeke should be higher up the finishing results just for getting us through that one there tonight. There was some interesting moments, to say the least. All right, we got some drivers in the ready for interview room. Why don't we start with the champion as we bring him in here on the Global Sim Racing Channel, Chris Canfield. Chris, you're from New England. Does that make you a Patriots fan?
No, I'm from New England, but I'm not a huge Patriots fan.
Okay, I was going to make a championship comparison, but I will just move on straight to the racing stuff. Chris, congratulations. You come home 2nd tonight. You clinched the championship. $50 goes to you this week. Man, though, what was going through your head as you were sliding sideways, getting run into by like 7 different cars?
My first thought was, oh, damn, I just was praying that, no offense to Doucette, but I was just hoping that he didn't get through it, to be honest. I hate to be that kind of guy, but I worked really hard this week to get the car right and compete for the chip.
You come out of that, it looked like the car was pretty beat up. Honestly, we made the comment on the broadcast, Dawson and I did. We were looking at your car and Doucette's car, and I don't know if you have a chance to go look at it yet, but Doucette basically spun to miss and kind of clipped the wall. You got piled into, and all of us looked at the cars after the race or after that crash and said, man, this deal's over. I mean, Chris Canfield's going to go backwards like a rock, and Ryan Doucette's going to be good, and life's going to be great. Merry Christmas. Championship's over. And instead, your car almost looked like it was better for a little bit there on that restart and did a great job. But how bad was the car damaged?
The car, I asked my teammate Ryan Matthews if the car was bad. He said I had no damage at all, so I guess that must have been him just telling me that I had no damage so that I would think it had damage. Then I went back and watched it. I was like, dude, I have a lot of damage, but I'm glad he didn't tell me I had damage because the car actually felt honestly better on the short runs after I got into that mess. But yeah, car was great.
Well, Chris, congratulations. You guys have a great team. When you talk about super late model and short track racing here on iRacing, I don't think there's anybody better when it comes to teams than what you guys have put together there. Why don't you tell us about the people that help support you guys?
Yeah, obviously everyone at Leduc Matthews Racing, I really wouldn't be anywhere near contention without them because they work really hard on putting these setups under me, and it means a lot. I'd like to thank Todd Kirkwood at Sim Marketing Solutions. He helps out a ton. I'd like to thank Patriot Media and Marketing Services. They help out a lot too. Specifically Ryan Matthews I'd like to thank from Leduc Matthews. He's awesome. He's a great guy.
Well, Chris, congratulations. A lot of fun watching you guys tonight go at it up there. Always fun when we get to see these cars on the racetrack, and a great job this week to win a championship that's 5 races long on a short track like this. I know it takes a lot of work, so congratulations.
Thanks. I'd also like to thank Zeke for putting this whole thing on. I know it ain't easy to run a league, and I respect him a lot, and I respect you guys a lot for the broadcast, and yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, that's Chris Canfield. Thanks so much. Congratulations to you on the championship. One driver was just too much to handle on the track tonight, though, and Dawson, you've caught up with our race winner.
Yeah, Colin Allman, teammates here to your championship. I just got to ask real quick, we were talking here in the booth. What are the odds that were you working with Chris to get good restarts? Colin, got a copy?
Dude, I can't even hear this.
It sounds like he's not there. We're going to move on. Let's check out with Ryan Matthews. Ryan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. There we go. Ryan Matthews tonight. We saw plenty of racing. How did the track feel?
The track was good. Towards the end, it was getting rubbered up, and the car was getting tight with the cautions and the tires cooling off. So the car got a lot tighter, but I don't think I had anything for Allman. I was trying. I could stay with him for a couple laps, but once we got longer on, he was gone.
So talk to us about the no tires thing. Was that something that are you familiar with that? Are you running in other leagues that do that, or is this kind of a whole different thing? And how big of a problem is that for you when you think about it setup wise?
Yeah, we do it in a lot of other super late model leagues. Actually don't allow you to take tires, so I'm pretty used to it. This with the setup deal, it's not that big of an issue since I've been used to it, so I don't really worry about it. Actually, the tires fall off about 4 to 5 tenths, and then it kind of stays the same the rest of the race. So it's not that big of an issue, especially here at New Smyrna. It's not too hard on tires, so I wasn't too worried about it.
Well, I tell you what, you did a great job. Got a solid third place finish. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank all the boys at Leduc Matthews Racing for helping me out this week, and Todd Kirkwood at Sim Marketing Solutions, Double F Logistics, my dad at SN Model Service, and congrats to Chris on winning the championship. He worked hard for it.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by and talking to us.
Thanks, man.
All right, that's Ryan Matthews, your third place finisher tonight. And it sounds like Adam has caught up with Cameron Ruggles.
Yeah, Cameron, a P7 finish after all of that. What were you thinking when you were bouncing off the wall on lap 82?
Fuck, I'm sorry, I was playing the stream. Honestly, I didn't really see that they were wrecking until I was in the wall, and then back marker just didn't lift, and that was all she wrote for my car. But I was fighting the car all week, couldn't really get any adjustments done to it that felt right, and I finally had a car tonight that I thought was top 5 worthy after qualifying like garbage like I usually do. But
well, that being said, you got home with a points finish of P3, so that's going to net you some nice cash. What do you think about this race, and how was the result for you considering the point stand?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank Zeke for putting it on. It was a lot of fun. I definitely would do it again if he hosted another week tournament like this. But I was more focused on who I had to beat, and a couple of people didn't show up here and there, but it is what it is. I finished the way I wanted to.
Awesome. And is there anyone else you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Alex McCollum. He helped me out all week. He taught me how to fix setups for super late models, and I got a lot faster the last night after he helped. And my sponsor, Landmark Financial, they sponsor me in real life, so I just put them on my car.
All right, well, thanks so much for the interview, Cameron. And it looks like we've got Jason looking. We're going to try Allman one.
Alrighty, Adam, thank you. I think we are going to try Colin Allman, although it looks like Colin might have disappeared on us again there. Folks, we do want to apologize for the language there from Cameron. This is live sim racing TV. It's 2019, folks. Sometimes stuff like that just happens. Hey, Colin Allman's back in the ready for interview room. Let's see if he is ready for an interview. Colin, can you hear us this time?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Hey, Colin Allman. Congratulations, bud. You stunk up the field tonight, but that's got to be a pretty good feeling as a race car driver.
Always. Yeah, it was qualifying trim. I didn't work on it much. I wanted to work on my race trim and practice just to make sure everything was good. we haven't ran 100 laps this week, so I wanted to make sure that everything was good with a 100 lap set, full of fuel and everything. Wanted to make sure it was going to be fast for tonight, and qualified third, got to the lead pretty early, and set sail from there. Car was on rails.
Car was certainly on a rail. Take us through that pass there on Riley. It looked like you kind of strategized once you got under him there and did a nice job of taking away the groove that he wanted to run going into turns 1 and 2. Was that the plan?
Well, we had a little scuffle last night, and then tonight he did the same thing, and I wasn't gonna lift, and I got back in the gas and got back to it before he did, and I wasn't lifting. So it's just one of them racing deals. Me and him have raced clean, and we've gotten into it before, and it'll be. I'm sure we'll go back and forth a few more times. I mean, it's just racing, But
short track racing, right?
Oh, of course. But
congratulations, Colin. I mean, we didn't watch you a lot, I'll be honest, after you got out in front because there wasn't a lot to watch with you. But sometimes, man, those are the best nights. I've had those feelings myself before. I know what a night that can be. So congratulations to you. Hopefully next time we do this, you get to run all 5 races. You have a chance to get up there and compete for a championship. I know you got a lot of people that help you out. You guys got a great team. Tell us about them.
I got to thank Sim Marketing Solutions, Sim Design Concepts, also the Dreamer Racing Series. They've hopped on for a couple of races in another league, so it's cool to have them on board and to help out and stuff. It's a good group of guys. Got to also thank French's Mafia, Adam, Keith, Brandon, and Michael. Got to wish Michael, Keith, and Brandon luck this weekend. Michael was racing a big Super Late model race down in Florida, and took Brandon Wilkinson down there at spot for him, and it's pretty cool that us guys can get together on a sim and become teammates and then do some stuff together in real life. So good luck to them this weekend. It's pretty cool to see. Hopefully they have some success this weekend, but I still hope my car beats them.
Good stuff there, Colin. You're absolutely right, man. I know that feeling about how cool it is and get to meet people through sim racing and run with them in real life. Colin, congratulations. We'll see you on the track next time.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I think Dawson's got one more.
Yep, caught up with Ryan Doucette, your 4th place finisher. Ryan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, 10-4.
All right, good to hear. Ryan, you came up short tonight with the championship, but boy, it's tough. You were in tough positions there. Talk about your night.
Yeah, well, it started off pretty bad in qualifying. I got extremely loose off 2, and that killed my lap. Gave me bad track position to start. Fought my way through the field pretty quickly, I feel like, and just couldn't really break. I was able to run top 5 with ease, but couldn't really break top 3. And then there was that run mid-race where we went green for a while, and Stenjem and Watson looked like they were trying to kill each other in front of me, and I didn't want to get involved in that, so I kept backing out to let them go. And it was just, there was always seemed to be a barrier between me and Canfield for the championship that I couldn't get around.
Well, we noticed when that wreck had happened, Canfield was involved in it, you were involved in it. It looked like you had avoided it, and your car looked a little bit better. We thought Canfield was going to be slower, but then he just went back out there, car looking just as bad, and he did a great job. But, is there anything else? Maybe you thought a move here, move there, or was he just flat out fast?
Oh, well, I put a lot of work into the setup and practice today, and I've been struggling all week on long run, and I finally got it working pretty well. I do feel like I was faster on the long run, but it was just the people in front. I'd get people in front of me that would slow me down, and it'd create a gap, and I just couldn't close that gap with the amount of time we had left.
Well, it's a rough ending to your week here, but I mean, you did a great job. 2nd place is still nothing to hang your head about. You did a great job. You came out here and you raced well too, so congratulations on the finish, and well, I guess we'll see what happens next.
Yep, and before you kick me out, I gotta thank Patriot Media Marketing Solutions, Accelerated Motorsports, the Winstone Machinist Union, and give a congrats to Chris Canfield. He put up a heck of a battle all week.
All right, that's Ryan Doucette, your 4th place finisher. And what a race tonight, Jason.
What a race it was. I got to catch my breath after that one, huh? Hey, what a fun night it was here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Got to thank everybody for joining us here, and especially shout out to Zeke Torgensen, the Late Model Esports Series. Everybody got behind this event here tonight. Fast Track Sims, Pro Sim Racing products. Of course, a big thank you as well to everybody who helps us put on the broadcast here at the Global Sim Racing Channel. As you can imagine, this is a bit more of a project than you probably think. These great companies here on your screen have certainly helped us out so much. See those 2 fine gentlemen there on the bottom, Eric Ekholm, June Lalonde. Make sure you check out those websites there. They provide the awesome rockin' music that we got here. Sean Ambrose is a connoisseur of music, says those 2 have the best music in all of sim racing. If it came from Sean, you know it's the truth. So make sure you check out Eric and June's websites there as well. Some great stuff if you want to get a hold of them for some of their great music as well. Shout out to the team today. Dawson in the booth. Adam, great job down there on pit road. The maestro, Joe Peak, turning the knobs back there. Somehow made me sound better than I really am. That's always a feat. We'll give him a raise for that after this one. Remember, if you'd like to find out more info on the Global Sim Racing Channel, you can find us online, globalsimracingchannel.com. That's easy enough, right? GSRC channel on Twitter. Check out Facebook. Check out the GSRC Gram on the Instagram. Of course, you're watching this on YouTube. Go ahead and click that little thing right there that says subscribe in the middle of your screen. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and do it. Subscribe, follow us. Got more races coming your way here as well. Make sure you check out all these great races. Check that out. DGFX at the Nürburgring. That's going to be a crazy race. Count on it. Plenty of events coming up this weekend. You'll find them every weekend here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Once again, for everybody here at GSRC, Dawson, Joe, Adam, Dougie Beard, and the gang, thank you so much. Until next time, race clean, race hard. We'll see you on the racetrack.